So hello guys, welcome to episode 74 of our F1 Manager Save. Now we're going to Miami this episode, and it's been a track that's been very successful to me. But if you didn't catch the last episode, it finished under safety car, but Ferrari won at their home Grand Prix. It was our first Grand Prix as team principal in Italy, and Lando Norris won it at a canter, to be fair, in the end. Perfect performance from him, no mistakes. Mick Schumacher was unlucky not to beat Max Verstappen in the end. Standings wise, it means we are now second behind Red Bull, just 3 points behind them. We overtook McLaren to go back into the top two. And driver standings wise, Charles Leclerc's on top, but Lando Norris is only 1 point behind him in P2. Mick Schumacher is chasing Max Verstappen at the moment in P6, just 2 points behind the Dutchman. Now, for this race, Miami, last year, if we have a look at last year, I won this race with Pierre Gasly, so I know how to win here in Miami. Overview of it, 57 laps round here. We've just had this Grand Prix in real life. Pierre Gasly set the lap record as well in the Aston Martin last year of a 1:31.8. Expected strategy is a one-stop from medium onto hard or hard onto medium, depending on which way you want to do it. Obviously, we saw Max Verstappen in real life absolutely blitz it on a hard to medium strategy. Car attributes, acceleration, low speed and high speed cornering. Now, we're going to take fresh engines for this Grand Prix. No penalties because it's within our allocation, but both cars are taking fresh engines. We've got plenty of new developments ongoing as well. A new ATR period has started. New chassis, side pods and suspension all being looked at, along with some front wing manufacturers just for backup. But if we just have a quick look at the car analysis at this moment in time, on the right hand side you can see there's a couple of cars that have brought upgrades, third and fifth now on top speed and acceleration, so there is a cars bringing upgrades for this Grand Prix, but we are very competitive in the cornering. So that's everything. I'm going to get through practice and we'll see you in qualifying for the Miami Grand Prix.
We're in the state of year-round summer. It's the Miami Grand Prix and we're here in Florida at the Miami International Autodrome. The streets of Miami Gardens will come alive with the roar of racing, and the excitement is only just beginning. Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with the stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Okay then, let's get to it.
So you join us then, final laps in Q3, both our cars through to Q3, scrub set of soft compound tyres for the first runs. Max Verstappen has already crossed the line, 1:27.1 is the time to beat. Can Lando Norris beat that time? He can't, he goes P2, 5 tenths off of Max Verstappen. Mick Schumacher now coming to cross the line. He's green through the first and second sectors, as you would expect. Mick Schumacher showed some decent pace this weekend, goes only P9. Lando Norris is in a battle again with the two Red Bulls. We may have to do something a little bit different with Mick Schumacher's strategy. So that is everything, unless Charles Leclerc can put a lap in, but I think he's just now toddling back to the garage. But that has not been a bad qualifying session at all for Lando Norris in P2, but Max Verstappen is on pole, and to be fair to Max Verstappen, he has topped every session so far this weekend. To the strategies. Right then guys, so we are changing it around a little bit here. We're going to start Lando Norris on the hard compound tyre. It worked for him in Imola. Is it going to work for him here in Miami? We'll have to see. Mick Schumacher, he's going to be trying an audacious two-stop at this moment in time. He's going to go medium, hard. Hopefully then he'll get an undercut on the guy switching onto the hard compound tyre, and then be on fresher tyres towards the end. So we're giving Mick every chance, I feel, on the two-stop. But Lando Norris, I think, can make the one-stop work. And we have got the option to switch to the two-stop if we need to. Lap 32 is when we will pit if we do go for the one-stop. So there we go then. 2nd and 9 for Schumacher and Norris. Let's see how we get on.
Newest races in F1, and hopefully one of the most exciting too. It's the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we are looking at Lando Norris. He's starting on the hard compound tyre, as is Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen is on the medium compounded tyre, and straight away Lando Norris has done pretty well. Mick Schumacher equally, he's managed to overtake Guan Yu Zhou straight away, and he's on the back of Carlos Sainz, but Max Verstappen does manage to lead away. We'll take a look at this Mick Schumacher overtake. I'm guessing he just got a better launch than Guan Yu Zhou. He certainly did. He got a good launch on in that Ferrari and the Lotus Renault on the hard compound tyre. You would expect Mick Schumacher to make that place up early doors in this Grand Prix. If we have a look at the interval at the moment, it's 0.5 of a second from Verstappen to Norris. Norris has got to keep with Max Verstappen in these early bits of this Grand Prix. That is for sure. Stay in the DRS range, and then we can really chill out with Lando Norris. Leclerc's not going to be too excited on them hard compounded tyre. Once again, Kevin Magnussen is qualified in P4 in that Audi. He's very much outperforming Alexander Albon at this moment in time. Perez and Ricciardo, the two McLarens, currently running P5 and 6. Sainz P7, Schumacher down in P8, and then comes Guan Yu Zhou in P9. But if we just have a look at the tyres, Schumacher's going to be in this little train. These hard compound tyre runners may just make it that the top 10 are all running together. Lap 1, no incidents. Verstappen leads from Norris. DRS enabled on lap 2, and now lap 3. Lando Norris is going for the lead of the Grand Prix. These two, again, in a bit of a league of their own here. And to be fair to Verstappen, he's defending well, but Leclerc, look at Charles Leclerc, dropping out of DRS range of these two. Norris and Verstappen fighting. Lando Norris has the lead of the Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc is having to do his absolute utmost to try and stay with these two guys. And I'm guessing it's going to be Max Verstappen who gets DRS down this next straight. We'll wait to see if his rear wing opened. It does, but Charles Leclerc is managing to hang on at this moment in time. But Lando Norris doing a fantastic job on lap 3. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher is in this little train as well. He's managing to look after his tyres a little bit at this moment in time, and he's just chasing the Ricciardo. Remember, it might be strategy that pays dividends with Mick Schumacher. That's what we're expecting. But we saw Max Verstappen overtaking Lando Norris. We'll watch that again as Max Verstappen with the DRS down these long straights that we have in Miami. And to be fair, we were no match with that DRS open. But I think our tactic should be to just stick in behind Lando Norris on these hard compound... stick in behind Max Verstappen on these hard compound tyres. Instead of battling too much, we're going to go for light tyre saving mode with Lando Norris. He's been on this quite a lot throughout this season, and if he can make the one-stop work, who knows what we could do here. Mick Schumacher still running P8 on lap 4. Lap 10, Mick Schumacher starting to make moves, overtaking Carlos Sainz in the Aston Martin, up to P7, got a good run out of that corner, and by the time you were going into the next corner, Mick Schumacher had got the job done. And to be fair, Carlos Sainz looks like he's struggling a bit because he's now got Guan Yu Zhou all over the back of him. We're happy in the Ferrari garage, we're happy at the moment on the pit wall. Mick Schumacher's running a tidy race here. Danny Ricciardo is the bottleneck at this moment, he's the one that's slowing everybody down. Sergio Perez on the medium compounded tyre is in the front quartet at this moment. Norris, Verstappen and Leclerc. Norris is really looking after his tyres here compared to Charles Leclerc, and if he carries on like this, I reckon he can make the one-stop work from hards on to mediums. Mick Schumacher, like I say, he's in this little train. We may go for the two-stop with Mick. We're analysing it as it goes. There may be a chance to jump these cars and jump Danny Ricciardo is what we're thinking, but it will require quite a lot of overtaking for Mick Schumacher on lap 10. This garage has just gone mental, says Pete Bonington. Lando Norris overtaking Max Verstappen was not the man he was commentating on, but we're just going to have a look at this. Lando Norris on these hard compounded tyres. He's doing a fantastic job in the Ferrari. It begs the question, we know in real life he's not got the car with that McLaren at the moment, but Lando Norris is having a fantastic time at the moment in this Ferrari team, and I'm actually really glad we got him. Pierre Gasly, I would have loved to have managed again, but Lando Norris doing very well at this moment in time. The interesting one at this moment is Mick Schumacher. We are looking at the gap to Stroll and Vettel. Those are the two people we're looking at the gap from at the moment, because we reckon if we're going to make this undercut work, we need to get out in front of this battle. So we're going to tell him now to deploy in the next couple of laps and then hopefully build the gap. If we can get this to 24 seconds, then Mick Schumacher could come in and we can make this two-stop work. I'm pretty sure we can with Mick. I don't want to use the ERS just yet, but he's doing a fantastic job, Mick Schumacher, at the moment. Lando Norris just lost the place to Max Verstappen again. We're on light tyre saving mode. We're 3% better than Charles Leclerc at this moment in time. And if we carry on like we are, we could possibly make the one-stop work. Lap 15, Schumacher in very shortly. And just as I was saying how well Mick Schumacher were doing, he's gone and done this. Mick Schumacher locking up, and he's smashed his front wing off. Fantastic work from the German there. That's not going to go down well at all. Gunther Steiner did warn there, and now Mick Schumacher is going to be pitting this lap, lap 15. And as promised, Mick Schumacher is pitting this lap. He's got a new front wing that he needs. We were looking to see if he could possibly go on the hards towards the end of the Grand Prix, but I don't think we could physically manage that. So Mick Schumacher is in on to the medium compounder tyre. He's going to get a new front wing on, which we're going to see hopefully very shortly. I'm guessing it's just going to appear. There it is. Magic as it happens in the Ferrari garage. 7.5 second pit stop time. That's going to put him to the back of the grid. He's on the medium compounder tyre now. Maybe we could have risked it with the hard, but I didn't feel the necessity to do it. It's going to be a tough old race and a lonely old race now for Mick Schumacher. But now he's just going to be told to go on standard. There's no point in pushing or deploying on the ERS. Just let him do what he's got to do. All our focus now is going to be on Lando Norris to win this race. Lap 16, the top 10 is Verstappen from Norris, Leclerc, Perez, Ricciardo, Magnussen in P6, Sainz, Zhou, Bottas, and then Esteban Ocon picking up the final points paying position at this moment in time. George Russell, it must be said, not having a great time round here this weekend. And Pierre Gasly, last season's winner, languishing down in P12, lap 16. Big moments in this race, and it was Max Verstappen running wide, battling with Lando Norris. To be fair, I believe these guys are trying to make the one-stop work from mediums onto hards. Verstappen and Perez now, if we have a little look at this, 34 and 36% for these guys. There's a lot of cars running long here, and Max Verstappen, that's cost him big time. He's now just about getting back into the DRS zone of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc, who are leading this race. If we have a look at the tyres at this moment in time, Charles Leclerc 52%, Lando Norris 57%. I think we can pull off the one-stop here. I really do, and I think we will have the pace towards the end. So now it's all about, do we do a two-stop or a one-stop with Lando Norris? Mick Schumacher's up to P18. He's now battling with Valtteri Bottas. It's not been ideal at all for Mick Schumacher. Maybe something could drop for him here, but at this moment in time he's not enjoying his afternoon in Miami, which is a disappointing thing to say. He's got a brand new engine in the car as well. Lap 24, Leclerc leads from Norris, Perez third, Verstappen fourth, Danny Ricciardo 13 seconds back in P5.
Right,
and just after I finished that highlight, Mick Schumacher did this. I was actually riding on board with him as he did it. Mick Schumacher is just not performing this afternoon. And I'm really considering how we even get back in this now with Mick Schumacher. It's been a very, very disappointing afternoon from him. And he's not going to be able to affect this race at all. So I think we can write Mick Schumacher off now. He'll just run his race. But at the moment, I'll be glad if he gets the car back in one piece and doesn't cost me any more money. At this moment in time, Lando Norris, he's just overtaking Leclerc for the lead once again. But I think we are going to go for the one-stop. I'm going to monitor what Leclerc does. That's my idea at this moment in time. I'm going to monitor Charles Leclerc, and we're going to go from there. Perez is in. Perez is, I'm guessing, was he on the hards? Or was he on the mediums? Let's have a look. He was on the mediums, so he's now, I would assume, going for another set for the hard compound tyre. He is. So it's one stop for the AI at this moment in time, and I think Lando Norris is going to be in the best position for a one stop at this moment in time. Lap 25. Lap 25, we're seeing a lot of cars coming. Vettel's in, Maloney's in, Sargent's in. Mick Schumacher's just picking up a few places just by the cars doing the pit stops. Lando Norris still battling with Charles Leclerc. This is not a problem for us at all. Max Verstappen definitely going for the one stop from hards onto mediums, medium onto hard, sorry. We're going to run this as long as we possibly can. The medium compound tyre, as we saw with Max Verstappen in real life, once the fuel's going down, which it is, Lando Norris could start pushing on fuel, but that does affect the tyres. And as I'm talking about that, Max Verstappen is in for his pit stop now. Let's have a look what he goes on to here. I'm expecting him to go onto the hard compounder tyre. He certainly is, and this looks like it's going to be a decent pit stop from the Red Bull team, as we've come to expect. Danny Ricciardo's been the bottleneck as well so far this afternoon. He's now just coming into the pit lane as well. We'll ride on board with Danny Ricciardo as he comes into the pit lane. What we're also going to be quite interested in, he's onto the hard compounder tyre, is where does Max Verstappen come out? And he comes out behind Sergio Perez. So Sergio Perez managing to jump Max Verstappen and undercut him, although his tyres are going to be a little worse for wear towards the end of the Grand Prix. We're just keeping this calm with Lando Norris at this moment in time, making sure we can save these tyres and go for this one-stop strategy. We will stretch it as long as we possibly can. But now it's Norris from Leclerc. Guan Yu Zhou yet to pit, I believe, on the hard compounded tyre, but he's been looking after his tyres quite well as well. 45%, 15 seconds back. It's been a 3-4 horse race here this afternoon in Miami. Schumacher now behind Lance Stroll in the Nissan. I think there's been something on track. Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris were battling, but Charles Leclerc seems to have lost a bit of time there. He's slowed up, he's not gone into the pits, and he's lost a hell of a lot of time. If we go back now to the main view, we can see Charles Leclerc has dropped to 1.7 seconds behind. Gasly's in, Magnussen's in, but Charles Leclerc has just lost a lot of time there. We're now going to tell Lando Norris, just keep on the light tyre saving. Gap to Verstappen's the interesting one, 16 seconds at this moment in time. But Lando Norris is going to be much, much quicker towards the end of this Grand Prix. I can't understand what Charles Leclerc's done there. I'd expect Charles Leclerc in this lap. And on lap 27, just as predicted, Charles Leclerc is in. Now, let's have a look. He was about 2 seconds behind Lando Norris. I'm interested to see where he comes out here and how far, if Max Verstappen comes out in front of him. He's onto the mediums. Max Verstappen's just coming onto the start-finish straight. I think Max Verstappen's going to have got a decent undercut here on his teammate, and he certainly has. Max Verstappen is going to be well in front by the time Charles Leclerc comes out of the pits. And Charles Leclerc comes out, what is he coming out? Let's have a look. Gap to leader now, 20 seconds. So it's took about 20 seconds for that pit stop. Lando Norris is going to be entering his pit window very, very shortly, but he's going to be very, very quick by the time he gets back on circuit. Lap 28. Lap 31, Valtteri Bottas spinning out, not ideal for him at all, just gets a little bit trigger happy on the throttle, and as you can see there, Mick Schumacher in the background overtaking a Nissan, now up to P12. I'm just monitoring this, 1.5 seconds on the last lap, Verstappen caught us, right, it's now down to 10 seconds, but remember, we're going to have fresher, faster tyres towards the end of this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen's on 88% hard compound tyres. I still think we can stretch this for another couple of laps, and then it's all about if Lando can chase him down, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do. Lap 32. Here we go then, Lando Norris coming into the pit lane. Let's see where this brings him out. Have we left him out too long? Charles Leclerc is catching his teammate, but not by too much. He seems to be stuck behind Perez at this moment in time, which is not helping his cause at all. We expected Max Verstappen to be in front by the time we came back out, but it's how far in front is he going to be as Lando Norris now is coming out. We can see Charles Leclerc here coming down the start-finish straight. Norris still coming out of the pit lane. We've lost the position to Leclerc. Let's have a look what the gap's now going to be towards Max Verstappen. Have we got the strategy wrong here with Lando Norris? That's going to be interesting to see. He's got 5 seconds to Leclerc, and then he's got a further 6 seconds to Max Verstappen. 11 seconds in 24 laps. Can Lando Norris do it? Of course he bloody can. Lap 33. And on lap 34, final pit stop for us. Mick Schumacher just coming out. It's been a very bad day for Mick Schumacher. He's going to come out P19. He's on the hard compounded tyre now. Will he manage to make any inroads? I don't think points is a possibility. I really don't. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Lando Norris now 4.3 seconds behind Leclerc. We're using a bit of ERS. We're using a bit of fuel as well. Pushing on everything to try and catch up with that Red Bull. And then we're going to chase after Max Verstappen. I reckon it's going to be a very, very interesting fight towards the end. Lando Norris currently P4. Battle, I reckon, around lap 50 is when we're going to catch Verstappen. And then it's going to be really game on. Right, first Red Bull overtaken. Charles Leclerc gets done by Lando Norris. Beautiful overtake, to be fair, from Lando. We've managed to charge up the battery again as well, which is very important for us now. We're just going to have a little look at this fight now because Charles Leclerc is coming back at Lando. Perez is dropping away from Max Verstappen, and it looks like Charles Leclerc is going to come back at Lando Norris here, and he does manage to get that place back. Now, will Lando Norris get DRS down this next straight? I'm really hoping he will. We're going to now tell him to deploy, but he's lost significant time there, Lando Norris. And although he's trying to deploy and get past Charles Leclerc, it's not happening for him at this moment in time. Lap 40, Max Verstappen's looking good for this win. But lap 41, Lando Norris manages to get past Leclerc with DRS, and we have pushed now on the ERS. We know we've got to catch Perez and Verstappen, so this is it. We are now going for it. Lap got, what, 7 seconds to Verstappen. This could be very, very difficult towards the end of this Grand Prix, but we're hoping that Lando Norris is going to manage to get up with them now. And if he gets up with Verstappen, I fancy us. Safety car wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for us either now. We haven't had a safety car so far. We'll have a look at what Mick Schumacher's doing. He's currently languishing down in P17 and overtaking the Haas of Nicholas Latifi. Apparently, you can take the driver out of the Williams, but you can't take the Williams out of the driver. And that's certainly the case for Mick Schumacher at this moment. Very interesting. Charles Leclerc has just pit again. Leclerc is on a 2-stop. He's 20 seconds behind Lando Norris, who's just charging up his battery once again. And then once he gets in this DRS of Perez, we're going to go for it once again. But very, very interesting plan from Red Bull, going onto the 2-stop where we're pushing the 1-stop desperately. But Lando Norris, hopefully, he's going to be back in the DRS, and he certainly is now. Lando Norris back in the DRS of Sergio Perez. Now he's got to overtake this man and then push towards Verstappen. Verstappen's tyres are wearing better than Lando Norris, as you would expect, being a harder compounded tyre. But Lando Norris, couple of laps round Perez, and then we will go again, lap 43. We're not going to get a replay of this, but Lando Norris, he's managed to overtake Sergio Perez. He's up into P2. He might get a bit of a helping of DRS off the Williams as well, the bike runner. I believe it's Yuki Tsunoda. 5.4 seconds is the gap to Max Verstappen. We are still pushing on the fuel. We're just going to tone that down a little bit. If we have a look at the last lap, 1:31.7 for Norris, 1:32.5 for Verstappen. Norris is quicker, and I believe he's going to get a bit of a helping of DRS here. Let's have a quick look at this. He has got DRS down this straight, and the Williams gets out of the way. Yuki Tsunoda, you might have just guaranteed yourself a reserve drive at Ferrari. Great work from him. Sergio Perez is going to be our rear gunner. I can't see how Leclerc is going to catch us in these final stages. So this is it now. It's all about, can Lando Norris charge up his battery enough and then go again for one final push and attack Max Verstappen. 10 laps to go. It's going to be an exciting finish.
Jesus.
Mick Schumacher's very sorry. Jesus. Well, I tell you something, he's going to be very sorry when he gets in the driver debrief. He's got a 10-second time penalty, and to be fair to him now, I think it's time to just say to Mick Schumacher, let's call it quits. Let's have a look at the crash first and foremost. He's driving with Pierre Gasly. He's got the DRS. I'm not quite sure what he's done here. He's just locked up and smashed Gasly off track. He's took 2 or 3 cars out there. It's not good at all. And to be fair, if we can work out where the button is, Mick Schumacher is going to be told to retire the car, because it makes no sense at all for Mick Schumacher to still be out there. We're having a look at the crash. Whether a safety car, it could have really helped his teammate. What must be said is, I don't think Lando Norris is going to catch Max Verstappen. He's 4.1 seconds up the road, and he just can't seem to catch the Dutchman at this moment. And I would rather now solidify the P2. It's good points for Lando Norris, this. So we're going to take it a bit lighter on the tyres, ensure we get to the end of the Grand Prix. But Mick Schumacher is going to be retiring from this Grand Prix very shortly on lap 51. We're just going to keep an eye on Max Verstappen. We're on the final lap, and Max Verstappen has got the strategy right. Red Bull have got the strategy right today. He's even going to get a little helping of DRS all the way down this back straight. Max Verstappen, strategy bang on. I can't complain with that at all. We've just said to Lando Norris, just conserve the tyres for the last couple of laps, just to make sure we get home, because we are on 26%. But the battle on track at this moment in time is Charles Leclerc versus Sergio Perez. We're going to ride on board with the Red Bull of Charles Leclerc on them medium compounded tyres. Is he going to manage to get past Sergio Perez? This could be absolutely crucial in the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen's won the race, but Sergio Perez is going to hold off Charles Leclerc. It's only going to be P4 for Charles Leclerc. He's going to be a little bit frustrated with that, understandably. Lando Norris crosses the line. Great performance from him. Leclerc only P4, and Sergio Perez in P3 gets the podium. Obviously Mick Schumacher's out. We have got a yellow in Sector 1. Looks like we've had a crash on circuit. Let's see if we get a replay of this. I don't believe we're going to do, but it's George Russell. George Russell's had a bad weekend as well, it must be said. And George Russell Is he going to have a crash here? He's locked up. He's done similar to what Mick Schumacher's done, so that's him done for the weekend. We'll get to the classification and the podium very, very shortly.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend. Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic. And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
I think you've got to say what is nice to see is to see 3 different constructors on the podium. Max Verstappen winning. Lando Norris does get a point for fastest lap of 1:30.6. That was a mean lap. In fact, I think that's the lap record. Sergio Perez P3, Leclerc P4, Guan Yu Zhou P5 in the Lotus Renault, Magnussen P6 in the Audi, McLaren Danny Ricciardo P7, Sainz in the Aston Martin P8, Russell P9 and Esteban Ocon P10. Just one retirement from the Grand Prix, and that was Mick Schumacher. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris is now top of the driver's standings. He's now 6 points clear of Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen had a very positive weekend. He's now up to P4 in the Constructors. Perez in P3 maintains that position. Constructor standings wise, this is where we may struggle because Mick Schumacher not picking up the points today. Red Bull are now 22 points clear in the Constructors. Ferrari, we're in P2 and McLaren in P3. It's going to be a close fight between these 3, but we need Mick Schumacher to book his ideas up a little bit and stop making the simple mistakes that he's making. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!